Come drift into a different dimension at Caffeine Octane Linear Raceway for Cosmic Drift on October 26, 2024 with LED lights, visuals, lasers, music, and so much more. Driver sign up and tickets are on sale now, and I really hope to see you there. Hello and welcome to the Toyota Century, one of the coolest luxury cars ever built by Toyota, and it has so much cool stuff in it. So before we go for a drive, I figured we could show you all the really cool features inside the car. This is one of those cars that you're actually better off being a passenger in the back rather than being the driver. The experience in the back is pretty much, well, it's a better experience. This is actually the halo car in Japan for Toyota, and they made these forever in this generation. This is actually the executive car of Japan for the most part, and I mean executive, like government leaders and things of that nature. So here inside the Toyota Century, you have a lot of cool options. First, it's column shifter. Along with that, you have navigation that's working from 1997, and it's a touch screen. All right, we have our majestic chicken, like Mike likes to say, and we're gonna start the car and show you some of the gadgets. Here's our navigation. So here's our 1997 working navigation that thinks we're in the middle of the woods because we're at LZ's compound, which is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Down here, we have airlift suspension. So it is on bags and it looks absolutely stunning aired out. Also, I can control the passenger seat on my left with these buttons as a driver. So I can push this back and forth and it controls that. Also, if I close this, see you later. Very satisfying and mechanical. And you have to remember, this is a 1997 car and all these little electronic things are still working. Okay, so now we're where you really want to be in the Toyota Century, in the back seat. It is so comfortable back here, but the one thing I do want to highlight right off the bat is a working television from 1997 and a remote. But here you have your Boss coffee, pretty cool stuff, but also a working remote from the Century and a working television. So as you're a passenger in the back of the Toyota Century, it is a wonderful place to be. Insanely comfortable, lots of leg room, and if you want to watch your favorite show, you can do that. James, you said the seat can fold all the way down.
Yeah, so if you're a fancy businessman and you're getting driven around, you want to lay down in this thing, you can pull this, fold that down, and then you can just completely stretch out and have your legs in the front seat while you're chilling in the back. You
That
just got,
is so cool.
Your own little first class, essentially, situation back here.
Every single seal on the car is engineered for ultimate silence inside this car. This thing feels like it's soundproof. It feels absolutely bananas when you just sit in it normally. I feel like I'm in a voiceover booth talking to you right now. Mike. David. How's it going?
I'm good.
So if you could give, I guess, two things that are your favorite about the car, what would you say?
Just the overall styling of it. It just has this presence wherever you take it. And out of all the cars that I have, this is the one that everyone asks me about when I'm sitting in lights and traffic or whatever. They always,
even over the NSX?
Always, yeah.
No way.
Always,
I believe you though.
They always, I'll look over, they'll be like this. I'll be like, all right, what's up? And I just give them a whole spiel about the car, and half of them think it's a Mercedes, half of them think
That's
it's a Bentley or a Rolls Royce.
I think we have to highlight what you did to your wheels because they're the factory wheels, but you
Correct.
converted them.
Yes.
So can you explain that process with the three-piece?
Yeah, so they were factory, I think 16 by 7.
Yeah.
And they're just a cast one-piece wheel from Toyota. Weird fact about them as well, the work emits used these as inspiration to make
that makes a lot of
their
sense.
work emits. So instead of buying emits, which I thought about in the beginning, I was like, let me just convert these, because that's just, adding to the car's, I don't know, coolness. I don't know how to explain
no, I
it,
get
but,
it. Yeah, the presence of it.
Sent them out to my buddy Chamorro Boy 86 on Instagram, and he converted them from 16s to 19s, so a 3-inch step. And then I think I have 19.9.5 in the front, and then 19.10.5 in the back. Since this video is now live, you don't need to ask Mike what his wheel specs are today, which is his biggest pet peeve ever. I'm never really someone that hides wheel specs and stuff.
That stuff's weird.
We were always that kid that didn't know what we were doing and always needed to ask someone.
This is like one of my favorite features.
So yeah, this like out of all the stuff that this car has, this is just one of the weirdest but the coolest features, and it's just so that you can see.
And it folds over. He's not pulling it all the way. It's just, yeah, sure. So what do? Do I just pull?
It only works on this side.
Oh, because you have
the
to be...
driver's always driving.
Oh, duh. I'm stupid. Don't listen. I'm going to leave that in because we all need humility. But that was dumb. All right. That was dumb.
Yeah, it just clips right back in.
I got fired from my executive job just now. Also, with the 3-piece conversion, he did floating center caps. Really cool feature for the Majestic Chicken. Fly away, Majestic Chicken. Fly away. Real quick, how can people find you? Just in case they
my
don't know.
Instagram, Divine Media, and then my YouTube channel, Divine. I build this thing, my NSX, my Supra, and currently a Del Sol, because I want a daily driver.
But seriously, before he gets back to work, I have to say you have some of the best automotive tastes I know out there,
Thank you, man.
So I really appreciate it. Like every time I see your car on any social media, I'm like, I wouldn't change a thing. It's like, just leave it alone.
Well, that means a lot.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Oh, last thing before you get stolen away. Can you describe the V12, like what makes it special? How it's almost 2 of the same engine put together?
So yeah, it's basically 2 1Gs put together. People say 1Js, like the 1JZs and stuff like that. It's essentially 2 1Gs put together from like the NA Chasers and stuff like that of the day, but pretty reliable for what they are and extremely quiet.
It's weird.
Half the time, if it didn't have an exhaust on it, I wouldn't know
silence.
it's running. And I think that just kind of adds to the experience of driving the car because you're driving an office.
Well said. Mike from Divine Media has been so generous, letting us check out his car, have a great time. But now we're gonna go for a drive and get an impression of what it's like to be a Japanese businessman or executive. And I'm stoked. Except I'll be the driver this time and not the person in the back. So let's do it. Sir, are you ready to go on a drive?
I'm ready to go, Jeeves.
Column shifter. Yeah, if this thing did not have an exhaust on it, silence. James decided to tag along with me during my Florida road trip reviewing all these cars, and you automatically said this one was your favorite one already.
Oh, for sure.
Why do you say that? I'm curious.
The styling of it is really cool to me. The epitome of what I think a stance car should be. It's not like super cambered out. It doesn't look just ostentatious or obnoxious. It's just very clean and very nicely done. Like it gives me Lincoln Continental vibes, and I think that's why I like it so much. It just looks super put together and just high class. And
from 1997.
Yeah.
I've said that line over and over in this video, from 1997, because it has aged so incredibly well. The car has been over-engineered to an absolute pulp. What'd you just say to me?
I need to put my massaging seat on.
How dare you?
My back's hurting a little bit.
Yet I don't have one. The driver doesn't have one.
The driver gets nothing in this car.
This car was called the Century because it was a century later after the company of Toyota was founded. It was founded in 1867. The first Toyota Century was 1967. But this one in particular, this is what I think of the Century, don't you think? I mean,
yeah.
it was what, from 1997 to 2017.
That was the running of the second gen Century.
And they pretty much didn't change hardly anything. Probably the electronics.
Yeah.
But that's about it. But this thing is just baller as the old one. I absolutely adore it. You said something as soon as we pulled out of the compound. What'd you say?
Yeah, this Century just makes me feel like a mob boss. This is great.
You've committed some serious crimes and you're contemplating your life choices of all the people you stepped on.
For sure.
With massaging seats that Mike described as a vibrating PS2 controller.
It feels exactly like that. 100%.
I really like the digital dash, how simple it is. You have your temperature, your fuel, and speedo, and that's pretty much it. It's not cluttered at all. It's super easy to drive. I can't believe the nav still works. It's pretty incredible stuff.
It's a touchscreen nav too.
Yeah, which is insane. Oh, the trans is even smooth.
It's got some get up and go.
It's enough to escape somebody attacking you.
For sure.
That's all I'm thinking about right now. Yeah, the auto trans in this feels really nice. It downshifted right on the spot. I love the fender mirrors. I love them. They look so cool. They're a little hard to use if you're not used to using fender mirrors, kind of like an old Datsun or something.
I got my TV. I think there's a phone back here too. It's my AC. Like all the AC vents are just on me, which is pretty cool. There's a clock in the roof that tells me the time. That's nice.
In the roof? I didn't even notice that
it's
yet.
Right up here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We were asking Mike, like, so you daily this thing, and technically, I guess you could call this a stance car, but it's on that fine line. Would you say so, James?
Yeah.
I think it's on that fine line of just being really styled well, because his fitment's so good, his wheel fitment's crazy good, and he can air it up and down, so it's very functional. But now, yeah, him dailying this is not a surprise to me anymore. It's super easy to drive.
Oh, for sure. This is one of the most comfortable cars I've been in.
Sir, we're successfully away.
Nice. Good job.
Dude, the gearing's really tall and it just goes. It's not super fast per se, but it carries a lot of momentum. I think that's the best way to put it, is that big heavy car, and when you're on it and you get that momentum past third gear, fourth gear, it just keeps rolling. It's like a tank.
Speaking of tanks, Mike said some options had bulletproof glass.
I'm not surprised at all.
Some of the models. He said this one didn't, but some of them came with it, which is really cool.
That added a lot of weight, as you could imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Column. Oh, it has a reverse beeper.
Yep.
Pretty sick. Me, I take your hat, sir.
Yeah, I like the hat.
On to the next meeting.
Yep. Next meeting.
James, it just does the thing.
It really does.
If you just needed a car, then you wanted it to be cool and very, I don't know how to say it. If you wanted to feel like you were somebody.
Oh,
you know?
For sure. I was telling Mike, like, my friend Justin and I last year, we went and bought a 99 S-Class off Cars and Bids, and bought in Chicago, road tripped it to Utah, and it gave the same vibes as this. It had the same, like, a lot of the same features, and everything was just fancy, and it was all passenger focused, like, executive car.
Yes.
Versus the driver doesn't need anything. Everything is for the passengers, and that car had the same vibe as this one.
Also, this car's main competitor was Maybach, which is really fascinating, and Rolls-Royce Phantom.
Yep.
And that's a big deal, in my opinion, for executives. But yeah, man, on that note, Toyota Century. Pretty awesome car. I've had a really wonderful time driving it, checking it out, seeing all the gadgets in the car. It has a cool story behind it, even if it was just off the factory showroom floor. But Mike took something that not a lot of Americans know about, really enhanced it with the 3-piece conversion, the airbag system. Everything is incredibly tastefully done, and I have to commend Mike on that. Go check out Mike's channel, all that good stuff. And James, did you have a good time?
I had a great time. This was fantastic. Thanks for the chauffeur.
That's right. And on that note, I typically upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. I know he's taking it easy. See ya.